Good morning, friends. Welcome. Thank you for being here with me. I am Sara-Jane Gage, and I am co-owner of Engage Fitness DC. I am also a Kripalu yoga instructor and a functional fitness trainer. And today is a very special 45-minute all levels yoga flow live streaming to you from the Titanic Memorial. So right behind me, you'll notice the statue is a memorial to all of the men who bravely perished in the Titanic tragedy and allowed the opportunity for women and children to survive. I'm sure y'all know about the Titanic story, but if you don't, look into it. The memorial is a really cool piece of that history. So the memorial is set up also on the Washington Channel, and the Washington Channel is where the Potomac and the Anacostia rivers come to a point. So if you're following along with our journey here, this is where Steve and I are living. We're right on the Washington Channel nearby, and we have the great pleasure to wake up to water views, and they're not too far from us. We can't see them from our house, but literally right around the corner. We can walk here every day. It's a beautiful thing. So enough about me. I'm gonna pan the camera over just a little bit so that you can enjoy some water views along with me during practice, because who doesn't love water views during yoga? And y'all might see Penny and Steve back there a little bit. They're gonna be hanging out with me this morning. So my friends, come on to the back of your space, the back of your mat, finding your mountain pose to begin. Rock it forward and back on the feet a few times, grounding down, weight evenly, and land. Shoulders drop down away from your ears. Take a big inhale, hands rise up overhead, looking at those fingertips. Take a wiggle of the fingertips. Notice what muscles activate, how far down the arms you could feel that wiggle. One more inhale, and then as you exhale, big bend of the knees, lead with your heart, forward fold. As you land in this forward fold, your hands land wherever it's comfortable. Maybe that's your mat, maybe it's your shins, your thighs, or if you have yoga blocks nearby, you can grab those yoga blocks and hold on to those. Inhale, slide the hands up the front of the shins. Get long through the crown, flat back. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Palms meet overhead. And exhale down to heart center. Take a pause right here in your mountain pose. Rock it forward and back a few more times. Get grounded real evenly through the feet. I'm just gonna scan over so we can see more water here. Yeah. That's a little better. Alrighty, friends, landing on those feet. Point the fingertips down away from your ears. See if you can get really long through the neck, long from ears to shoulders. And then take that inhale, plugging the shoulders down, get long through the fingertips. Exhale, lead with the heart, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release, hands come to the mat this time. Maybe you drop down onto your knees and find your tabletop shape if that serves you. Or if you'd prefer to land right in that high plank, you're feeling ambitious here at the beginning of practice, find your high plank. Find that high push-up shape if that's what works in your body. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, shift it forward, lower down, chaturanga. Lead with the heart, rise up, baby cobra, or up dog. Hang out here for another 2 breaths, and as you do, see if you can drop those shoulders away from your ears just a little bit more. Next exhale, lower down to the mat, tuck your toes, rise the hips up for down dog. And then pedal out your legs here. Take the dog for a walk, so to speak, by bending one knee and then the other. Let your breath flow in and out as you do. See if you can loosen up the hamstrings, the hips, the glutes. Get a little release here. A little more movement. Take a pause in that pedaling. Look to the top of your mat, and then lots of little steps. Come to your forward fold. Feet in line with hips, plenty of wind in your movement. Take a big inhale into this forward fold shape. As you exhale, open mouth side, stick your tongue out, let go of any tension in the face, the jaw, the mouth, the neck. Let it go. Take one more of those breaths. Breathe in really, really full. And as you exhale, open mouth side, stick the tongue out, release it all. Next inhale, start to roll it back up to standing, nice and slow. With shoulders, neck, and head arriving last. Point those fingertips down away from the ears. Let the shoulders release away. And then as you inhale, rise the hands up overhead. Maybe there's a gentle back bend there this time. Exhale, lead with the heart, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale and fold, hands to the mat. Perhaps you step back to high plank. Maybe the knees drop down for tabletop. Or maybe there's another variation in between that calls you. Take what you need here. Notice what your body is looking for as you take one more inhale. As you exhale, shift it forward, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, lead with the heart, rise, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, release, tuck the toes, rise the hips up for down dog. This time, step your big toes together. Let the weight be evenly planted between hands and feet. Your toes are together. Notice as they are that this already challenges your balance a little. If this is too much challenge for your balance, separate those feet. Let them be in line with the hips, in line with the glutes. Hands in line with shoulders. Head and neck relaxed between your biceps. Try to drop those heels down just a little bit closer towards your mat. And then looking to the top of the mat, lots of little steps to come to your forward fold. Maybe you take them high up on your toes, just for a little variation. Drop the heels down, land nice and even on all points of the feet, and then as you inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale and fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, rise those hands up overhead, palms meet at the peak of the breath. And then exhale, hands down by heart center, Anjali Mudra. Take a big inhale, rise those hands up overhead, gentle back bend at the top. Exhale, lead with the heart swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release, step back, your choice, high plank or tabletop. You decide, again, which variation serves your body. What feels best for you here? One more inhale. As you exhale, shift forward, lower down, nice and slow, chaturanga. Lead with the heart, find baby cobra or up dog for one inhale this one. As you exhale, lower down, hang with me. Hands under shoulders, elbows tuck in really, really close. Use all of your arm strength to inhale and push yourself up to baby cobra. Arms do the work. Exhale, lower down. Take it a few more times. Inhale, press through the arms. Press through the chest to rise up. Exhale, lower down. So the abs are still active. The navel is to spine. But rather than letting the core and the low back strength support us and pull us up here, let the upper body get activated and involved. Maybe coming up a little higher on each inhale, if that calls you. Take one more round of breath wherever you are. As you exhale, lower down, tuck the toes, rise the hips up for down dog. Step those big toes together. This time, perhaps you drop your knees down to the mat, sink back into child's pose. You can hang right here now or at any time this serves your practice. Or perhaps you choose to come along with me, step those big toes together. Inhale, rise right leg high for three-legged dog. Hips are aiming to the mat. Weight is even between that left foot and the hands. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, step that right foot forward, right in between the hands. Let it land. Left foot pivots to about a 45-degree angle before windmilling the hands up for side warrior and sinking in. Take your time as you land here. Find the knee in line with your hip. It's not caving in or out. We want it open. And then the arms are in line with shoulders. Gaze is strong over that front middle finger. Perhaps you lean in a little more. Take an inhale, reach the hands up overhead, start to lengthen that right leg. As you exhale, sink right back in. Inhale, rise high and extend. Exhale, sink back in. Take it 3 more times with your own breath. Inhaling high. Exhaling, sinking back in. One more inhale to get tall. As you exhale, windmill those hands down, frame the foot. Step it back to meet the left in your down dog. Take a look to the top of the mat. Lots of little steps to come to your forward fold. As you land here, hands to shins, inhale, flat back. Exhale and fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Palms meet overhead. And exhale down to heart center. Inhale, rise the hands up overhead. Take a gentle back bend at the top. As you exhale, lead with the heart. Nice slow swan dive to forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale and fold. Hands to your mat, your choice. High plank, table, or maybe some other variation. Maybe there's a forearm plank. Maybe there's a one-legged plank. Maybe there's something else that calls you. Listen into your body and what you need. One more inhale. As you exhale, shift it forward, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra, or up dog. Exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes, rise the hips up for down dog. And then step your big toes together. Perhaps you hang out here. You might back off into that child's pose now or at any point. Or perhaps you rise up into that down dog, step those big toes together, and then inhale left leg high for three-legged dog on the second side. Notice if that left hip is aiming down towards the mat. See if you can square it a little more. One more inhale. And as you exhale, that left foot steps forward right in between the hands. Right foot pivots 45-degree angle. Inhale, windmill the arms up and sink in. Find your side warrior on this side. You hang out right where you are. I'm gonna turn my body so that I can be facing towards you. And so we're looking for that knee to be in line with your hip, not caving in or out as it often wants to do. Maybe you squeeze those shoulders up towards the ears to create a little tension. And then exhale, plug them down. Bring that gaze nice and strong over that front left finger. Sink in just a little bit more. As you inhale, lengthen that left leg, get long through the fingertips. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, rise and extend. Exhale, sink in. 3 more times with your own breath. And as you sink in, perhaps you get just a little bit deeper if that calls out. It's not a requirement, it's a variation. Next time you inhale and rise up, take a pause. Windmill those hands down, frame your left foot. Step it back to meet the right in down dog. Let the knees land on your mat. Slowly sink back to child's pose. Any variation of child, so perhaps you hang out high. Perhaps the forehead is on your mat. You find where this serves you. Sink into your child's pose for a moment and take those 3 cleansing breaths by inhaling into the lungs through the nose. As you exhale, it's an open mouth sigh, letting everything go. Take 2 more of those with your own breath, and as you do, make a choice to let go of something somewhere with the breath. So as the breath lets go, perhaps you let go and surrender. Perhaps you release a little more tension. Perhaps you release a little control, a little self-doubt. What can you let go of here? Take 1 more of those breaths. Really big inhale into the lungs. This time as you exhale, follow the breath rising back up into your tabletop pose. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. This time, belly drops low, head and hips rise high. Find your cow pose, big inhale. As you exhale, tuck the chin and round. Inhale, drop the belly, shine the heart forward. Exhale, push down and round, tuck your chin as you do. See how long you can get through your spine. You create some space in between each vertebrae. Taking a couple more rounds with your own breath. Getting as long in the spine and the neck as you can. Begin to slowly make your way back to neutral table. And our neutral table is when we find that place where tailbone is to neutral, navel to spine sucked in just a little bit. Shoulders are still rounded across your back so that you have that back and shoulder strength to help hold you up here. Tuck the toes, inhale, rise up for down dog. You can hang out right here in your traditional down dog. Perhaps you step big toes together and find that narrow down dog. You can hang here, or perhaps that right leg rises high for three-legged dog. Perhaps you remain right there. You might play with bending the knee, circling into the hip. Find what your body is looking for here. What shape feels good on this side for you. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, step that right foot forward, right in between the hands. Set up your side warrior once more. So left foot pivots. As you inhale, windmill up and sink in. As you land, take your time. Find that knee in line with your hip. Hang out right where you are. That heel is in line with about the mid-step of that back foot. And the shoulders are actively plugged away from the ears. Very often in this shape, they like to creep up. Try to keep them actively down. Gaze strong and intentional over that front right finger. Drop the left arm down. Rise that right up overhead. Reverse your warrior. You can reach that left hand back behind you for a bind if that's available. Grab for the pocket. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, drop that right hand down on top of the thigh. Left comes up and over to make that nice long line in your extended side ankle. You can hang out right here using that knee and thigh for support. Or perhaps you bring the back of the hand against the inside of the shin on a block, or even letting go, allowing your core to do the work. One more inhale. As you exhale, turn your body towards that right foot. Frame the foot. Step it back to meet the left in down dog, pressing your chest back towards your quads. Drop the knees down to the mat, find child's pose. 3 cleansing breaths as you do. Inhaling through the nose. Maybe holding at the peak of the breath to build a little tension. And then as you exhale, let it all go. Open mouth sigh, release it out. 2 more like that, and make that mental connection once more. As you exhale, choose what you're letting go of here. What is released with the breath? What is surrendered with the exhale? What is let go of here? Let go of something, somewhere. Take one more big inhale into the shape. As you exhale, follow the breath, rise up into tabletop. Neutral tabletop this time. Tuck your toes, rise the hips up, down dog. You can hang out right here in your traditional down dog. You might back off into that child's pose, or perhaps those big toes step together. And this time you inhale left leg high. You can hang out in 3-legged dog, or perhaps play with that hip opener. Maybe playing with bending the knee or circling the ankle. On your next exhale, step that left foot forward, right in between the hands. Engage that navel to spine before you go anywhere. Windmill the hands up. Rise into your side warrior on this side. Take a pause as you land. Find your form on this side. Hang out right where you are. Turn my body. I don't know. I guess I'm all mixed up with this different setup this morning. Sorry, guys. Take an inhale, rise those shoulders up towards your ears. Give them a little squeeze. And then as you exhale, plug them down. Get that gaze strong and intentional over that front left finger. Drop the right arm down by your thigh, just gently. Inhale, rise that right arm up overhead. Get really long on that side of the body. Maybe even reaching for the bind, reaching for that pocket. One more inhale here. As you exhale, drop that left elbow down onto your thigh. Get long from right fingers to right toes for your extended side angle on this side. You can hang out right here, or perhaps you play with dropping that hand down on your shin. You might get into the core a little bit more by extending that arm. Take one more inhale here. Get a little bit longer through those right fingertips. As you exhale, frame the right foot. Turn your body to frame that foot. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Down dog. And then knees drop down, sink back into child's pose. Find your connection with your breath once more. And you decide what breath here. What breath is calling you in this moment? What pranayama practice supports you here? No right or wrong answer, but notice. Notice where the breath is spreading through the body. Where does it expand into and where does it release from? Notice. Paying attention to those exhales. Can you release just a little bit more? Can you lengthen out the breath and surrender just a little bit more? Notice. No judgment, no attachment. There's no supposed to be's or have to be's here. Just simple suggestions. So notice. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, rise back up into your tabletop shape. Tuck the toes, rise the hips up for down dog. Walk your dog here one more time, bending each knee, getting some movement, and maybe this time the dog gets a little drunken, we'll say. So by bringing opposite knee to opposite side. Notice how you can get a little bit more into the hips, the glutes, the hamstrings. Continually you're pedaling out here and let your breath get a little bit more full. Just gonna check our camera and make sure you guys can still see me. So it's hard to see from where I am set up. I'm pretty sure you can. Take a pause in that pedaling. Walk to the top of the mat. Find your forward fold. And then as you inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Palms meet overhead. Release down to heart center at Anjali Mudra. Take an inhale, rise those hands up overhead. This time, fingers meet, interlace, shine those palms up towards the side. Get a little wiggle of the ribs away from the hips to get a little taller and longer here. When you feel like you've gotten as tall as you can in this shape, release those hands down by your side. Point the fingertips down towards the mat. Get as long as you can through the neck and take a look up. Keeping those shoulders far away from the ears, drop the chin down. Take it a couple more times. Big dramatic number. maybe hanging out right here. Or perhaps you bring those hands back behind you. Interlace the fingers and drop the shoulders away from the ears a little more. You know what your body needs here. You know what serves you best. Take what you need. One more round of breath. After that, exhale, release your hold, release any tension. Circle the shoulders down and back a few times. See if you can get some movement there. And let go in the upper body. Maybe there's even a rolling of the wrists or the elbows that come along with your shoulder rolls. See if you can let go. Leave the tension here. We don't need it. It's not serving us. We can leave it here. You can also leave anything else that's not serving you here. Drop those hands down by your side. Find your mountain pose. Feet in line with hips. Shoulders away from the ears. Palms shine forward, radiating energy. Take an inhale. Rise the hands up overhead. Maybe you find that little back bend. As you exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, hands to the mat. This time, find your tabletop pose. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Take an inhale, kick that right leg back behind you. Point the toes down towards your mat. Get really long through the base of that foot. Active leg, active glute. And then find a rainbow shape here. Rainbow shape with that right leg. Slow and controlled. Letting the movement come from your glute. And the way that we do that is we keep that core really tight. So navel to spine. Shouldn't feel it in the low back at all. The glute is doing the work. You can continue here for as long as it serves you. Or perhaps you focus on that stretch by kicking the right foot over to the left side. Planting down those toes, taking a look at that foot. And leaning into that side body stretch. Your next inhale, slide that right knee back to meet the left in your tabletop. Maybe there's a little tail wag there, a little hip sway to notice the difference between the two sides. When you feel satisfied there, kick that left leg back. Get really active through the base of the foot. Active leg. You choose. You might dive right into those rainbows, or maybe that stretch is calling you. Whichever you choose, the core is engaged. So your navel is to spine, core engaged, so that we keep any pressure out of the low back. We allow the low back to be supported. Continuing to breathe here. Breath is flowing. When it feels right for you, drop that left foot over to the right side. Take a look at it over your shoulder. Notice the difference between this side of your body and the other. On your next inhale, slowly slide that left knee back to meet the right in your table. Find a tail wag of the hips side to side. Little sway. Taking that movement for as long as it makes sense for you, for as long as it supports your body, your hips, your glutes. When you feel satisfied here, make your way onto your bottom. legs extended out in front of you for a Dandasana, or a seated staff pose. So the legs are long in front of you. You might take that little wiggle side to side to find your sits bones. Perhaps this is when you notice that you're on uneven ground. I don't know why it took me this long to notice, but that's what I'm noticing. Find that Dandasana, get long through your legs. Maybe take a little wiggle them out. And then wherever you choose to settle them, let there be a micro bend in your knees the whole time, okay? Let the legs settle down, get nice and tall, shoulders roll down and back, and then slide a knee into your body. Doesn't matter which one you start with. I'm starting with my left side, but I'll be honest, I have no idea what it looks like to you in this current setup. Again, it's a little different than what we usually do. So pick a knee, slide it in, use that knee to pull yourself up nice and tall. Get really long through the crown of the head. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, start to turn towards the knee. Gentle twist. If you want a little bit more, you might look towards your shoulder for a bit more. Or perhaps you even come out of it, place that foot over the thigh, set it up again, and then take the twist. That'll give you just a little bit more. Whichever variation you choose is supporting your body and your practice. One more inhale here. As you exhale, release through center, unwind the legs. If you chose to try that variation, shake them out a little. And then bring the second side in. Using the knee to pull yourself up tall, you decide. You can start here, just like we did that first side, try it out. Or if you know you need a little more twist, feel free, you can place that foot over the thigh at this point. Whichever you choose, we're going for length over twist, so stay nice and tall. Take an inhale before you start to spin towards the knee. Perhaps the gaze even comes over your shoulder for a little bit more. Notice the difference between these two sides of the body. Taking one more inhale on this side. As you exhale, follow the breath, release back to center, unwind those legs, shake them out. And then bend both knees. Doesn't matter how far or how close the feet are from the body, but let the hands be back behind you. Find a little leaning in to allow for your hips to open. You guys know, if you've done this hip opener with me before, you might prefer to stay up tall this way in your seat. That might feel best. Or you might prefer to come on down to your back and take it in that supine position. Arms at a T position to anchor down, and then allowing knees to flow side to side. So it's just a little variation. There's not one that's better than another. There's not a right or wrong here. Notice what feels best in your body. We're looking to get the outside of the hip a little. Allow your breath to start lengthening out just a little bit longer. Maybe moving into that whiskey breath, or even that Dirga breath, your three-part foundational breath of yoga. By inhaling for 4, holding for 4, and exhaling for 4. That's your Dirga. Your whiskey breath is when you lengthen out your exhale twice as long as your inhale, and there's also opportunity for that. So notice what your body is calling for, what your practice is calling for. Begin to slow down your movement and find your way to your Shavasana Pose. And Shavasana, like the rest of your practice really, happens where it makes most sense for you. Traditionally, many of us like that resting, laying down pose. It's a lot of the reason we do yoga for many of us. But if you'd prefer to sit up or to be in a stretch, a posture, a shape, there's again no right or wrong way to be. You want to just take a moment to find what serves you, to find what shape feels best for you. No right or wrong, no supposed to be's or should be's. Let those things go. And wherever you choose to land, take at least 3 more of those big cleansing breaths. Big inhales into the lungs. Exhale as an open mouth sigh. And as you sigh out those exhales, there might even be noise with it. It might be a moan, a groan. Maybe there's a wiggle or a stretch that comes with the exhale. There's no right or wrong here. No right or wrong way to relax. Allow yourself to get a little heavier in your relaxation. Heavier in your body, heavier into the breath. Notice if you can let go of something somewhere just a little bit more. And as you land in this moment, this practice, this breath, I'll share our reading for this practice, and it's a repeat. It's one that's really speaking to me this week in particular. And so I'll share, and I hope it speaks to you as well. When chaos is all around you, the wisest choice is to create peace within you. Your peace shines outward and supports the creation of a new harmony. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, open mouth, release. Make it really dramatic, maybe really loud. Let it go. When chaos is all around you, the wisest choice is to create peace within you. Your peace shines outward and supports the creation of a new harmony. Allowing your breath to return to a more relaxed, less controlled inhale and exhale. You may choose to end your practice exactly where you are, or perhaps you come up to a tall, comfortable seat. No right or wrong, no supposed to be's or should be's. Find where it makes sense for you. You land there, the sits bones engage, the shoulders drop down, and you get just a little bit taller. As the eyes close, the focus goes inward. Take a big inhale, rise the hands up overhead. Letting the palms meet at the peak of the breath before they exhale down that center midline to heart center. Making an offering from your heart space to your practice. at Anjali Mudra. Take that 2 more times. Big inhale, rise the hands up overhead with the breath. Palms meet overhead, and then exhale down to heart center. 1 more time, and as you do, the thumbs pass by the third eye, making a choice to consciously cultivate kind thumbs. Passing by your lips, making a choice to speak kind words, and pausing lastly, perhaps most importantly, at your heart. Making a choice to be kind to yourself, to be kind to others, to be a ray of kindness and light in this unique time. We end our practice together, my friend, by bowing and saying namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. I am so grateful that you do. Penny was kind enough to join us for a Shavasana at the end. And so I shared at the beginning of the video that we are live this practice from the Washington channel at the Titanic Memorial. It's just off screen to the right. I'll scan over in a minute and show you guys. But if you have requests, if there's particular locations you'd like to see, if there's certain postures you'd like to see, if there's a particular class style that you'd like to see, speak up. Keep reaching out, keep talking, keep communicating with me. I'm happy to oblige where I can. And yeah, let me show you the full gravity of this beautiful scene we're in together this morning, my friends. So pardon me for the little bit of Blair Witch action, perhaps. So this is the Washington channel. And where you're looking down, that's actually Virginia. You can see Virginia directly in front of you. So that's how close we are to it. And then across the channel, is a really beautiful green space. I know part of it is a golf course. I want to say it has something to do with a Theodore Roosevelt memorial, but don't quote me on that. I'm really trying my best to learn all of these monuments and things. And this is looking down to kind of sort of our location from last week. We were at the Washington Monument. This is looking down the Washington Channel past the Wharf District and the waterfront to see the Washington Monument. Thought it wise to maybe stay away from there this week. So that's why we hung out in the Southwest, hung out on the water, and had this beautiful Titanic memorial overlooking us during practice. So my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this practice. I hope it was a unique addition to your usual yoga practice. Hope that you enjoyed practicing with Penny as well. Come on. Come say goodbye, friends. Come. Yes. Okay. Yo, yes, there she is. Great, great. Hope y'all can see her. Until next time, friends, be safe, be kind, choose to be well. We are so grateful for you, for your support, for your being part of our tribe, part of our group. We just love this work, this lifestyle, this just all of it. I can't believe it's real life sometimes. So thank you for being part of that and helping that happen. We love you guys. Have a great day.